Just have all these songs in my head. Just gotta get them out.
Welcome to Mojo Core, and today we're counting down our picks for the historical facts that director Antoine Fuqua's 2026 Michael Jackson biopic Michael got right and wrong. Make sure you've seen Michael before watching this video because a major spoiler warning is now in effect.
When you would be practicing, you were very heavily disciplined by your father. What was that like?
Number 10. MTV refused to play the Billie Jean video. Right.
She was more like a beauty queen from a movie scene. I said, don't mind, but what do you mean I am the one?
In the network's early years, MTV's rotation was dominated by white rock acts, and Billie Jean was not treated as an obvious fit for the channel. That changed when the song became too big to ignore. CBS Records chief Walter Yetnikoff pushed MTV to air the video, reportedly threatening to pull the label's other artists from the network if Jackson continued to be shut out. Once Billie Jean entered rotation, the dam broke.
People always told me, be careful what you do. Don't go around breaking young girls' hearts.
However, the scene in which Yetnikoff played in the biopic by Mike Myers, Choose Out MTV executive Bob Pittman, is disputed by Les Garland, then MTV Network's senior executive vice president of programming. Garland told Billboard there was, quote, never a threat from Walter Yetnikoff, saying that he, quote, got more upset because we didn't play Willie Nelson or Barbra Streisand.
Billie Jean's not my love. She just a girl who claims that I am the one.
Number 9. Michael adopted Bubbles in 1981. Wrong.
Now, there is a celebrity sitting in our audience. I didn't get a chance to do the introduction. As I was saying.
Bubbles is such a famous part of Michael's mythology that it's easy to forget the timeline. But 1981 is too early. Bubbles was born in 1983, which obviously means Michael couldn't have adopted him in 1981 before Thriller was even released. Reports differ on the exact details, but the better supported general timeline places Bubbles entering Jackson's life in the mid-1980s.
Don't you come walking begging back, mama. I don't care, believe me.
Placing Bubbles this early makes Jackson's eccentric image seem more established than it really was during the off-the-wall and early Thriller years. The movie is clearly interested in Michael's loneliness, but this is one case where the symbol may have been pulled forward for thematic convenience.
Dr. Marty Dennis was Jackson's veterinarian.
He had just a very pure concern for every animal on that property.
But Bubbles had a special place in Jackson's heart. He was a one-time actor. And for Michael Jackson, a one-time best friend.
Number 8. Suzanne de Passe discovered the Jackson 5. Wrong.
He called me one day and he said, listen, I want you to come down to my apartment. There's something I think you need to see. And I went, Bobby Taylor, I am not coming to your apartment, period. He said, no, it's nothing like that. So I went down to, I think I was on the 22nd floor and he was like on the 10th floor.
Berry Gordy's creative assistant, played in Michael by Laura Harrier, was absolutely important to the Jackson 5's Motown story. But calling her the person who discovered them oversimplifies the record. The stronger historical claim belongs to Bobby Taylor of Bobby Taylor and the Vancouvers. Taylor saw the Jackson 5 at Chicago's Regal Theater, helped bring them into Motown's orbit, and played a key role in arranging their initial audition.
And he kind of clapped his hands and he said, okay, you guys, this is Suzanne de Passe and she works for Mr. Gordy and she can get us the audition with Motown. Because I was mobbed up.
Right.
And so they got up and they sang, I think 3 or 4 songs a cappella. And it was unbelievable. It was really magical.
De Passe then became an important internal advocate at Motown, helping move the group through the system and into Berry Gordy's attention. She even designed the family band's wardrobe. But the version of events depicted in the film, in which Joe Jackson creeps her out backstage, isn't the real deal.
I got mad props for bringing them to the company. And in fact, the next group that I wanted to bring, they didn't even have to see them. He just said, sign them.
Huh. Was it a good group, the next one?
Yeah, the Commodores with Lionel Richie.
Number 7. Michael surprise announced the Jacksons' breakup. Right.
When you walked into Dodger Stadium tonight, you couldn't help but be impressed with the stage. It's a monstrosity, 6 or 7 stories high in dead center field. Fans without seats on the grass will need a good pair of binoculars for their in-person up-close look at the Jacksons.
This one sounds too theatrical to be true, but it really happened, more or less. The 1984 Victory Tour was complicated by money disputes, pressure from promoters, Michael's discomfort with the project, and the obvious fact that he had outgrown the group after Thriller. At the December 9, 1984 concert at Dodger Stadium in Los Angeles, Michael announced that it would be the last time the brothers would perform together, catching at least some of the family off guard.
The show was over in just an hour and 40 minutes.
I thought it was too short.
Thought it was too short?
Yes, but it was very good.
It was the best concert I ever saw.
I thought it was like a historical event. It was like, it was worth everything. It was so great, and he was incredible, and he's just the greatest. He was like the Beatles, you know?
Yeah. That moment effectively ended plans for more touring legs and marked a decisive break between Michael Jackson, global solo superstar, and Michael Jackson, member of the Jacksons. With that said, though, there's no evidence to suggest that Michael dramatically severed ties with his father after the performance.
Lasers, lights, smoke, pyrotechnics, and Michael. Michael was at his gyroscopic best. All eyes were on him. This was billed as a Jacksons tour, but it was superstar Michael everyone came to see, and he didn't disappoint.
Number 6. The Jackson 5 sang Never Can Say Goodbye for Motown. Wrong.
I never can say goodbye. No, 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 no.
Michael uses Never Can Say Goodbye as the Jackson 5's big Motown breakthrough number, but the truth is, that song was still years away. Written by Clifton Davis, the track was recorded by the Jackson 5 in 1970 and released as a single in 1971, eventually reaching number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100.
Tell me why. Tell me why. Is it so? No, no. I never gonna say goodbye.
In other words, it couldn't have been part of the group's pre-Motown audition or early showcase material. Historically, the Jackson 5's appeal to Motown was rooted in their explosive live energy, tight harmonies, and ability to channel the soul showmanship of acts like James Brown.
Come on, baby, I got the, yeah.
Number 5. Berry Gordy was Michael's mentor. Right.
Berry Gordy, I want you to know, in my heart and mind, you are a genius and a king. And without you, Berry Gordy, I don't think music would be the same today.
During the Jackson 5's Motown years, the head of the label was crucial. The film shows Gordy guiding Michael through the early Motown machine, and that tracks with the broader reality of how Motown worked. Gordy's label didn't simply release records. It trained, packaged, groomed, and refined performers for mass appeal. For a child star like Michael, that environment was formative.
Berry Gordy, you promised us 4 consecutive #1 records, and you delivered them all. I'll never forget it. It was a first in music history.
Motown taught him and his family professionalism, crossover strategy, stage discipline, and the mechanics of pop stardom. The movie is right to present Gordy as a warmer counterweight to Joseph. Still a businessman, absolutely, but also someone who helped Michael understand how raw talent becomes a record, a brand, and eventually a phenomenon.
Your faith makes it possible for us to be here today. We love you from the bottom of our hearts, sincerely. And I just want you to know that without you, my mother and my father, I don't think we would be here. And of course, God.
Number 4. Joe Jackson was fired by fax. Wrong. This is the kind of biopic detail that feels perfect on screen because it gives a messy professional break a titillating cinematic treatment. Michael hired John Branca, took control of his business life, and his father got pushed out by fax. The problem is that the power shift is true, but the exact fired by fax version appears to be dramatized. Branca did become a major figure in Michael's career, and the movie is right that Michael's adult independence required significantly loosening Joseph's grip. By the off-the-wall and Thriller eras, Michael was no longer just the child star managed by his father. He was becoming a solo artist with his own lawyer, producer, label relationships, and creative ambitions.
'Cause this
Number 3. The number of Jackson children. Wrong.
Jackie Jackson.
I'm the oldest Jackson.
And Tito Jackson.
The swingin'est Jackson.
And Marlon Jackson.
The dancingest Jackson.
And Michael Jackson.
The skinniest Jackson.
And Randy Jackson.
The cutest Jackson.
Joseph and Catherine Jackson had 10 children together. Rebby, Jackie, Tito, Jermaine, LaToya, Marlon, Brandon, Michael, Randy, and Janet. Brandon, Marlon's twin brother, died shortly after birth, which is why the Jackson household is usually discussed in terms of the 9 surviving children. But Janet Jackson isn't depicted in the film, despite being Michael's youngest sibling and one of the most famous members of the family in her own right. Vanity Fair notes that her career as an actress and pop star was already underway during the period the film covers. To be fair, Janet was born in 1966, so she would have been quite young during much of the Jackson 5's early rise. Still, omitting her might leave some viewers scratching their heads. Number 2. Joseph was physically and verbally abusive. Right.
Joe, do you have any at all bad feelings about the way Michael was raised? I know you're denying the stories about violence, but as you look at it, were there any mistakes you made?
I didn't make no mistakes, Larry, because Michael was raised properly. He didn't run the streets like most of those other kids that was in his neighborhood.
The movie's portrayal of Joseph Jackson as harsh, intimidating, and abusive isn't simply Hollywood dramatization. Michael Jackson spoke publicly and extensively about his father's treatment, and other Jackson family members also described Joseph's severe discipline.
I don't think he realizes to this day how scared. I mean scared. So scared that I would regurgitate.
You would vomit.
Joseph himself often defended his methods as necessary, arguing that he kept his children away from danger and pushed them towards greatness. But that defense does not erase what Michael said the experience did to him. The film is strongest when it shows the awful contradiction at the center of the Jackson family story. Joseph helped build one of the most successful entertainment dynasties in history, but he did it through fear, control, and emotional pressure.
There's a lot of people in America, Larry. A lot of people in America spank the kids, you know. If they say they don't, they're lying. They're lying. And Michael was never beaten by me, never beat at all.
Number 1. Michael cast actual gang members for the Beat It video. Right.
They told him, don't you ever come around here. Don't wanna see your face, you better disappear. The fire's in their eyes and their words are really clear, so beat it.
Unbelievable as it may sound, Michael is on solid ground here. The Beat It short film really did bring actual Los Angeles gang members onto the set, alongside actors and professional dancers. The idea reportedly came from Michael Jackson himself, who wanted the video's anti-violence message to feel rooted in something more authentic than studio tough guy posturing. Director Bob Giraldi and choreographer Michael Peters then shaped that raw premise into one of the defining music videos of the 1980s. Accounts of the shoot commonly note that members of rival gangs, often identified as Bloods and Crips, were recruited through local production contacts and used mainly for atmosphere, while trained dancers handled the more precise choreography. Do you think Michael handled the facts fairly, or did it bend the story too much? Be sure to let us know in the comments.